Hello everyone, welcome to my presentation on Sense and Sensibility by Jane Austen. This video is prepared as a part of the virtual Teachers Day program. In this presentation, I will be covering the title, plot, main characters and themes of the novel. This is my personal information. Here is the table of the content of my presentation. I will be covering introduction about the author Jane Austen, the title of the novel, the plot overview, the main characters, and finally the conclusion. So let's start with the introduction part. Sense and Sensibility is the first published novel of Jane Austen, released in 1811. The novel tells the story of the Dashwood sisters, Elinor and Marian, who represent two contrasting qualities: sense meaning reason and self-control, and sensibility meaning passion and emotion. Through their struggle, Jane Austen highlights love, family, responsibilities, and social expectations of women in the 19th century. Even today, it is remembered as a timeless classic for balancing reason with emotion. About the author. Jane Austen was a famous English novelist of the late 18th and early 19th century. She is best known for her wit, social observation, and realistic portrayal of relationships. Her novels focus on themes like love, marriage, morality, and the challenges faced by women in her time. Her works are admired even today for their humor, irony, and strong female characters. Some of her famous novels include Sense and Sensibility, Pride and Prejudice, Mansfield Park, Emma, Northanger Abbey, and Persuasion. The title Sense and Sensibility highlights two opposite approaches to life. Sense stands for reason, logic, and self-control, while sensibility stands for emotion, passion, and compassion. In the story, Elinor Dashwood represents sense through her calm and practical nature, while Marian represents sensibility with her emotional and romantic personality. Jane Austen shows that both qualities are important. Too much sense can make life rigid, while too much sensibility can lead to pain. The message of the title is that happiness comes from balancing reason and emotion. Sense and Sensibility tells the story of the Dashwood sisters, Elinor and Marian. Elinor represents sense, that is reason and self-control, while Marian represents sensibility or emotion and passion. After their father's death, the Dashwood family faces financial insecurity because the property is inherited by their half-brother John. So, the sisters and their mother have to shift to a smaller house in Devonshire. In their new life, they meet different people who influence their romantic journeys. Elinor develops feelings for Edward Ferrars, but she later discovers that he is secretly engaged to another woman. Marian, on the other hand, falls for John Willoughby, who appears charming at first but eventually betrays her for wealth. Through their struggles, both sisters learn important lessons. Marian realizes that too much emotion without balance can lead to pain. She matures and finally marries Colonel Brandon, a man of honor and stability. Elinor, who always shows patience and discretion, is ultimately united with Edward, and their marriage is based on mutual respect and understanding. The novel overall explores themes like love, family, social class, and financial security. Most importantly, it highlights the need for balance between sense and sensibility, between reason and emotion in guiding our life decisions. Main characters. So, in this novel, we meet many characters, but the heart of the story really lies with the Dashwood sisters, Elinor and Marian. Elinor is all about sense. She is calm, responsible, and always keeps her emotions under control. Even when she secretly loves Edward, she doesn't show it, just to protect her family's respect. From her, we see how important self-control and balance are in life. Marian, on the other hand, is all about sensibility. She is very emotional, romantic, and expressive. She falls deeply for Willoughby, and when he betrays her, she openly suffers. Her journey shows us how being ruled only by emotions can bring pain, but also how maturity changes a person. Now let's talk about the three important male characters. First is Edward Ferrars. He is simple, honest, and a man of values. Even though he has a complicated engagement with Lucy still, he doesn't break his word. That shows his integrity. Then we have Colonel Brandon. He is mature, kind, and always supportive. He truly loves Marian but waits patiently until she realizes his worth. In the end, Marian finds real happiness with him. And finally, John Willoughby. At first, he looks charming and perfect, but later he chooses money over love and abandons Marian. His character reminds us that charm without loyalty is meaningless. Main themes. Now let's look at the main themes of the novel. The first theme is sense versus sensibility. This shows the balance between reason and emotion. Eleanor represents sense while Marian represents sensibility. Second is marriage and social status. Here, Austen shows how love, money, and social expectation affect marriage choices. The third theme is family and sisterhood. It emphasizes the importance of family support, especially the bond between sisters during challenges. And finally, virtue and morality. The novel shows that honesty, integrity, and ethical choices always lead to happiness in the long run. So, to conclude, Jane Austen's Sense and Sensibility is not just a love story but also a lesson about balancing reason with emotion. Through the journeys of Eleanor and Marian, we see how patience, family values, and morality guide us to true happiness. As Jane Austen reminds us in her own words, know your own happiness, reward nothing but patience or give it a fair chance. Thank you so much for your attention. I hope you found the presentation interesting and enjoy learning about Sense and Sensibility.